Good morning. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Delaware County Commissioners meeting. It is Monday, March 15th, 2021. The time is 9:03. If everybody could please stand for the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry.
Here.
Ms. Reagan.
Present.
Mr. King.
Here.
Mr. Brook.
Here. Next, we have appointments for City County Council for People with Disabilities. Has anybody turned in anything, Jennifer?
John, you were working with the mayor,
I was working with Jenny.
well, a couple of years ago, the other mayor, about cleaning that up. I thought you,
Nope, I wasn't working with the mayor. I mean, this is a board that was put in when I was in office.
But-
And it just kind of sat there and they're trying to revive it now, so.
I was thinking you were working with, can't think of her name, Linda Muckaway.
We'll just put it out there again that we are seeking people to sit on this board. So if you'd like to send a letter or email something in to commissioners@county.delaware.in.us, you can send that in. We'll look that over. But we do need some appointments to that board. And also, if you have any questions or any comments, you can also send those to that email address. So we'll move on to approval of minutes for March 1st, 2021.
I move we accept.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes. Next, we'll move to presentations, GAI Consultants.
Good morning, Commissioners. I have two representatives from GAI, Scott Hornsby and Marcia Craney-Blevins, and they are the firm that designed Bridge 127 and inspected, and they'd like to present a plaque to you.
Thank you. You go over there.
You can see it. My name's Scott Hornsby with GAI Consultants, and very pleased how this project turned out. It was finished last fall. We did the design and inspection, and we thought it was worthy of something maybe you could hang on a wall somewhere. So we just wanted to present this to the county and show appreciation for allowing GAI to design this project for you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It is a nice bridge.
Yes, thank you very much,
Yep.
and
We'll have Charlie hang that up.
you finished on time and
Yeah, it was on
everything.
time and on budget.
You got it? All right.
Take it to you, see it for a little while.
All right. Thank you.
Done a great job. Thank you.
Guys.
Thank you very much.
Next, we'll go to the contracts and agreements. First up, we have our emergency declaration 2020-07.
Yes, this is a continuation of your emergency declaration from the 1st of March. The governor's declaration continues until the end of the month. And I have revived it, and it's the same declaration as before. We're still in the blue category for a county with the state. We're progressing, but this continues until your next meeting, April 5th.
I'll make a motion. We approve the declaration.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes. Next, we have uniform easement acquisition.
These are easements that are being requested by AEP in one, and Indiana Michigan Power in another one, for work that they're doing in different parts of the county. They've requested easements across some county property. I have the originals for signature. We've reviewed them, we've made the changes to them, and I think they're ready for signature now.
What's the pleasure of the board?
I make a motion. We approve the request.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion with the board? If not, Steve, can you call the roll?
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes. Next, we'll move to ordinances for first reading. We have Delaware County Commissioners Ordinance for convenience grant for Delaware County Circuit Court eviction mediation program.
Good morning, Commissioners. Emily Anderson, Court Administrator. I received a grant about 2 weeks ago from the state. This goes towards our eviction mediation program that we already have established. It's just more money to help us. It's a $25,000 grant. Part of that money is going to help Pathstone, who helps us with the program, and part of it is going towards more fees for eviction mediators. And I would also like to get this suspended and go ahead and get it approved today if possible.
Pleasure of the board.
I make a motion, we introduce 2021-005.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
I make a motion, we suspend the rules.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to suspend the rules. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
And I make a motion, we adopt the ordinance.
Second that.
Have a motion and a second for adoption. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emily.
Next, we have ordinance number 2021-006, Delaware County Commissioners Ordinance for the creation of a fund, 2509 Juvenile Probation and Formal Adjustment Program, user fee.
Yes, this is I said I would speak for Jeff Hansard, who's not here. This is a informal probation fee fund that they want to create for juvenile court to handle minor juvenile matters on an informal basis so that if the juvenile gets charged with something, they can go through the informal process and then come out of the process without a juvenile record. And so they want to set up this fund to be used for that, for setting up, having people pay to be part of the informal process like they do in the prosecutor's office on the juvenile side. And so he asked that this be introduced and, if possible, suspend the rules to adopt it so they can start implementing this right away.
I'll make a motion, we introduce the ordinance.
Second.
Have a motion and a second to introduce the ordinance. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Make a motion, we suspend the rules.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for suspension of the rules. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes.
Motion to adopt ordinance 2021-006.
Second.
Motion and a second for adoption. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes. Next, we'll move to ordinance number 2021-007, an ordinance to reestablish a cumulative bridge fund for Delaware County, Indiana, and increasing the tax rate for the fund pursuant to Indiana Code 6-1.1-41 and 8-16-3.
Yes, this is an ordinance that requests the commissioners to establish a cumulative bridge fund, increase the fund actually for the county for bridge purposes. This is something that you guys discussed last year, and there's a process for having this adopted. You would have a public hearing, and it has to be, if you want to increase it for payable in 2022, it has to be adopted by April 30th.
And we put that off last year
At the request of council.
at the request, so.
I'll make a motion, we introduce the ordinance.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. Henry,
Yes.
Mr. King,
Yes. Next, we'll go to resolutions for approval. Resolution number 2021-006, approval for the 2020 changes to the official zone maps. Marta?
Yeah. Marta Moody with the Plan Commission Office, and this is something that we do every year, and it's in the ordinance that we at the beginning of each year, we go through and verify that the changes adopted in the previous year have been properly incorporated into the official zone maps. And last year, not a busy year in terms of rezonings, there was one, and that is shown on the attachment to the resolution, and it was out on State Road 28 and, let's see, west of 3, and it was actually a downzoning from the R5 residence zone to the farm zone, to allow a couple of parcels to be joined under the same zoning classification. So the Plan Commission verified this at their meeting earlier this month, and it's in front of you now to verify the county changes for 2020.
Pleasure of the board.
I make a motion, we approve the resolution number 2021-006.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes. Thanks, Marta.
Thanks, Mark.
Next, we'll move to department heads and elected officials.
There is, I sent an agreement to all of you with the health department. I told Jamie I would take care of this. It's an agreement with Ball State so that they can expand vaccination sites, and they need the commissioner's approval. This is sort of like a lease for the facility. So I've sent it to all of you, and I believe that it's in the format for your signature. I've gone over with Jamie.
I make a motion, we approve.
Heartland. Was it the Heartland? Or,
No, it's,
No, it's a facility out at Ball State.
yeah.
oh,
I make a motion, we approve the agreement.
second.
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes. John, you want to go ahead and continue on with? We have the.
Oh, the Ravini, yes, that was next. We have an agreement, we've been negotiating with Ravini on their bond and their agreements to finalize the whole matter. We were able to claw back a significant amount of money on originally, and now this agreement cleans up the bonds, allows them to be purchased. Ravini will pay back to the county some money so that the building can then move on and possibly be sold to another buyer. This will end the whole Ravini matter.
Pleasure of the.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for approval. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes.
Here's the agreement.
John, do you have anything else?
I'm glad to get that one behind us.
Me too.
I don't think I do.
I just want to publicly thank
Get it to you.
the IT maintenance and sheriff's department with this transition to the new building. They have done a tremendous job getting us up and running, especially IT. They've had a lot on their plate, so I don't know that they really get the recognition that they deserve. And also maintenance for getting us in there. I mean, they've had a lot of stuff they've had to fix and tweak, and the sheriff's department, we've had a lot of things we've had to work through. So I just want to publicly thank those departments for working with the courts and for making things happen, and in sometimes a very short amount of time. So thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for acknowledging that, Emily.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's right. IT's, we've worked them a lot here lately.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate the sheriff and his crew helping out there. And I know Charlie,
Mr. Walker.
we put a bunch on Mr. Walker and his crew, and we do really do appreciate that.
Have anybody else?
Marta Moody with the Plan Commission, and I just wanted to make a formal announcement, I guess, that the Plan Commission is in the beginning stages of a major update to the comprehensive land use plan for Muncie and Delaware County. And the name, the tagline associated with that effort is Together DM. And we do have a website, togetherdm.org. And on the website, we have the first survey that is being conducted, and we would want everyone who has access to be able to go to that site and fill it out. It's also on the opening page for the county's website, as well as for the Plan Commission's website, which is dmmpc.org. So just wanted to let you know that and urge you to participate. Thanks.
Thanks, Marta.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
Yeah, could we get, Paul, you want to step up to the podium, please? Paul, you want to explain the whole, we had the new 911 telephone system. You brought it to us, I think, last year, or maybe even the year before. You want to explain all that, the charges and 60% reimbursement? You want to explain all that just so the public's aware?
Sure. Back the end of, let me get the right date where we applied for the grant. Back in late 2019, the federal government through the state of Indiana had monies that were designated to 911 facilities throughout the country. And the state of Indiana pursued that, and along with that, I talked to the commissioners, and he gave me the go-ahead to pursue that grant. The original project that we did and applied for, the original project was $1,395,000. And of that project, we were awarded $1,050,000. And the agreement was that the county would have to pay that money up front, and then they would be reimbursed at a total of 60% of that $1 million grant. This is for, we discussed it, this was the cheapest option to go, was the lump sum payment, and this money covers a 10-year agreement with AT&T.
And kind of explain what that's for too, please.
That's for a new 911 telephone system. Our system, we were awarded, it's my understanding, Delaware County was awarded the largest portion of the money from Indiana because our equipment was about 10 years old and it was end of life and it needed replaced. We hosted our system locally, so we had the hardware, a lot of the hardware in our back room. The new system is hosted in the cloud. It's actually hosted in multiple locations, I think, Evansville, Indianapolis, and Crown Point. So it's obviously new equipment, it's new technology. It replaced hardware in our dispatch center, computers, monitors, everything. And as part of that, at the 5-year mark, we'll get an equipment refresh as well. So as far as the redundancy, if it goes down, if we have an outage, say Crown Point gets hit, it's one of our nodes, our load would be transferred in the cloud to either Indianapolis or Evansville. So it's seamless behind. So we don't have that equipment, that switching equipment and stuff on site. It's out there in the cloud. It's just the latest and greatest equipment that's out there. And like I spoke of, this is for a 10-year agreement. Other than our access fees that I have money budgeted for, This is a one-time expense for this new system.
So we owe $795,000, correct?
That's what is left, yes. I was able to save over the last few years because we didn't have a capital expenditure. I've asked the council to appropriate $600,000 out of my state 911 account.
You're going to council, or you've already
Yes,
been?
yes, that was appropriated and advertised, and I'm hopeful that that'll get approval the 18th, Thursday.
I got a question. This thing that I got on my neck, does that come in to Delaware County? If I would fall and have to push this, or the one I got around my neck, if I would fall and I would out, it's supposed to pick up automatic.
Okay.
Does that come to Delaware County?
I don't know about your specific system. From what I know of those, it probably goes to the company, and then they turn around and would call us. Unless it's a different system where it would automatically dial 911. If it automatically dials 911 and you're within our area, yes, it would.
Well, I'm in Delaware.
Right.
County, that's what I'm saying, is it's when all this funds come
Did-
to a system.
I think it would depend on, what,
It's 5-star.
what alert. I'm not familiar with that system. Either it would come in directly, but more likely it would go to the 5-star company, and then they would call us and refer the call to us so we could get you help sent.
John, is this something that the city would pay half on?
It certainly benefits the city and is part of the whole dispatch process. This is something that you probably ought to approach the city about, to have them contribute to this as well.
Okay.
You hadn't said anything to the previous
No.
mayor.
The 600,000 out of the state funding, I don't think we can bill that to the city because that's.
No, I'm talking about the remaining
Right.
balance, the
Right.
$795,000. I think that should be brought up at the 911 board meeting, our next board meeting. We could probably discuss it then, since we'll have a council member from the city and also the mayor there.
I would agree.
I'll add that to the agenda.
Thank you, Paul.
So, I guess my question is, I've already contacted AT&T and told them that we were, behind on making this payment because of having to get monies transferred. So are we gonna wait longer until we hear from the city, or are we gonna go ahead and front this money?
Well, it's probably something that we probably need to go ahead and do.
Okay.
Do you know what they're gonna reimburse us 60% back. Do you know what the turnaround time for that is?
The state has that money in hand, so it's a pretty quick process.
Could you check on that for us and let us
Okay.
know? Thank you.
Anybody else have anything? Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome.
Next, we'll,
I do have one other thing. I forgot, it was underneath all my papers. We received a easement acquisition offer from Indiana Michigan Power for an easement up near Cardinal Drive. It's, they've had it appraised. We've got all the formal documents. They want to pay the county $200 for the easement. You can accept it, or you can try and negotiate to get a little more money.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, well, it's,
Maybe we could get 795,000.
I'll see what I can't guarantee my negotiation skills will get close to that, but
I move we adopt the $200 payment to AEP for the easement. John,
I'll second it.
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes. Anything else?
I'm glad you found it, John.
Yeah, it was underneath all my papers there.
That happens, doesn't it?
We'll move to payment of claims in the amount of $1,589,877.18.
So move.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for payment of claims. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Reagan.
Yes.
Mr. Henry.
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes. We'll move down to public comments. We have one person that signed up, Phyllis Lutton. You step up there, please.
I probably don't need this thing, you can probably hear me.
Well,
Can everybody hear me?
actually, we do need, because it's on Facebook.
Well, I live in Wheeling.
You can take her mask off.
Everybody, there is some here that know me. I've been there 87 years. I go to Prairie Grove Church. We have a road that is worse than any road. There cannot be a road in Delaware County as bad as this one. Been this way for about 5 years. They come out, they put gravel on it, but of course, it just moves out. You have to go out in the field to get around. There's no reason for it. The number is 750. It is between 1050 and 1100 in Washington Township. I come here, I'm on the board out there, on the advisory board. I come here not as a political Democrat or Republican or independent. I'm for my people out there. I was justice of the peace and they got rid of us. But, you know, we shouldn't have to drive on a road like that. They don't let the school bus go down it because it's so bad. And I've talked to the farmers on both sides. They're not going to make any ditches that will tear up the road. If they ditch, they're going back both ways. Talk to the drivers or the guy that watches the school bus, Parker, and I just here to say that you three commissioners should get together and get this road fixed.
Well, Phyllis, remember I told you you only had 3 minutes.
Well,
And
I pay enough taxes, I ought to be able to talk over 3 minutes. But anyway,
Phyllis, I agree. Now, I did make a call. I am picking up a pickup today, and I'm driving out there to see this. And we've been talking with Mr. Humbert and his crew.
If I had one of those cameras I don't have a smart camera, you know, or a telephone, I'd brought a picture, and you could have seen it.
Yeah, but Phyllis, I think this year we're going to do it right. We're going to do.
If you're going to do it wrong, don't do it.
Tommy,
Well,
can you
we're gonna let
address
Tommy.
this for us, please?
Yeah, absolutely. And put down.
Okay,
Don't do it wrong.
I agree. I agree, Phyllis.
I can tell you a little more about this. Is it 750 west between 1,000 and 1,100 north?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I talked to Commissioner Riggin about a month ago on this. I talked to the farmers up there. It is rough. It's passable, but it's rough. It's needed some attention. I assured Commissioner Riggin that it's taken care of. It's on the pave list. I don't know what else to say.
Well-
I'm surprised that you didn't tell her that.
I did. Trust me, I did tell her.
Okay. Yeah,
she
but
wa-
it is definitely going to be
and
taken
she
care
want-
of.
and
It's on the
she-
pave list. We can't get asphalt right now, but it's passable. We plow.
Go over in the farmers.
We
ground.
we actually plow that, but we're going to fix it, Mrs. Lett. We're going to fix that. I mean, it's on the plans. It's been on the plan.
So you'll fix it
Yes,
sometime this
definitely.
year
I mean,
when the plan
like I said,
opens?
it's already been taken care of. The farmers have been talking to Mr. Lassiter. I work with him a lot. I talk to him. I mean, everything is 100% on plan. I just can't do it till we get asphalt.
Yeah,
Till I start running it. But yeah, absolutely not a problem. Already taken care of.
we,
Thanks, Tommy.
we, I did learn from Mr. Lassiter that when if the old railroad, that the Cardinal Greenway stopped right there, and as a kid, he helped his dad take up a lot of that
Yeah.
old road.
Yeah, and that's going to be taken care of too.
So-
We've already talked to him about how we're going to dig it out. So
Yeah.
there's already a plan together, and it's going to be taken care of.
It's gonna be really nice, so,
Yep. No problem at all.
should we
And-
tell her by October it should be all done?
Well, I mean, I don't know exactly. I'm sure it'll be done before October.
Well-
But we're going to work it in along with this paving list. Troy has a paving list. Unfortunately, he can't be here today. But as soon as we get to it, I'll definitely get a hold of you and let you know. And we're actually going to Mrs. Lutton's next week to fix a culvert pipe in her driveway that's plugged up.
Yeah.
She thought maybe the semis ran over, but it's completely plugged, so we're going to replace that for her. So, but yeah.
That was done during the detour, that wonderful 28 detour,
Yeah.
detoured all them trailers.
Yes,
down
ma'am.
to Wheeling.
Yeah. It's just plugged up. It needs a new one anyway, so we're going to put you a new one in and you'll be fine.
Yeah,
Thanks, Tommy.
All right, thank you guys.
thanks,
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
yeah. Angie, at one time, didn't we get reimbursement when the state had to use a county road, like when 28 was closed that?
Just to be clear to the public, I don't think everyone understands, the state does not establish a detour on our local roads. Now, if there's no way around, then yes, but it's very rare. So in the case of 28, they asked for us to establish an unofficial detour. You know, we'd love to say a 10-mile radius just to cover every road, but we can't. So the prior highway superintendent thought what he thought would be mostly used by local traffic. And if those roads get damaged, then we apply with the state to see if they'll reimburse us. Tommy and Troy are meeting with the state officials here soon to determine how much they will reimburse us back. We feel 600 West and 500 North did receive some damage.
Yeah, okay.
But at this point, I don't know a dollar figure yet.
And this last 28 closure was kind of unexpected.
It was they intended to do it under a traffic signal, but they didn't think the bridge was a lot worse shape than they thought.
Uh-huh,
They didn't feel comfortable keeping a lane open during the winter.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it was for the safety of the people.
And
you
it
know,
was
protecting
sad
the
that
school buses.
about 4 or 5 years ago, the same thing happened. They had some other work out there, but that was planned.
Yeah,
But still, we did get some money back on that one too, didn't we?
we did.
Okay, well, thank you, Angie.
John, do you have anything on the emails?
No, there was one question about the cumulative bridge tax I answered, and that's it.
Don't have anything else. I'd entertain a motion to recess.
So move.
Second,
Have a motion and a second. Steve, can you call the roll, please?
Mr. Henry,
yes.
Ms. Reagan,
Yes.
Mr. King.
Yes. Under recess.